Welcome back to another great episode of Comedians in Bed. And this one right here is a threesome. It's a beautiful threesome. Have two wonderful comedians in town. Not in town because they're already in town. But I have two comedians that stopped by, hopped in bed with me today. And I'm so excited because they're newbies. They're newbie to the game comedy. And I want to see like how their journey is going so far, how they're enjoying doing comedy. First, we have Stephanie Cash at one of the funniest women in the game right now, not just in the game, but just one of the new and coming up in comics that are in the city that got something to say, along with my man who got the same. Well, I used to have dreads. I don't think you don't got dreads. You just got good hair. He has really good hair and he has really nice feet. We see them all the time. He wants a statement, and he's made that statement wearing thong sandals every day. Show up to the mic, but I love it because he shows up his authentic self. Please, everybody, welcome to the show. We have Stephanie Cash App and Murph Henderson. Everybody, how you guys doing today? You guys doing all right?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Yeah,
Get my nails
yeah,
done.
Same. It's
yeah, man. Steph out here being a mom, running errands and stuff.
Listen, I don't play with my nail tech. I
What's
don't
your
play with
nail
my
tech's
nail
name?
tech.
What's your nail tech's name? Is she cute?
She's fine. She's super fine, but you can't have a referral because she's not taking any more clients. So
Okay, okay. She booked and busy. All right.
she's super
Just like
booked and busy.
I don't trust you about this nail business. First of all, your friends have a tendency to snitch on me to you about
Yeah.
my pedicure game. I don't appreciate that. All right.
Mhm.
First of all, the idea that they didn't know that was how I got down was like I don't understand what type of stuff you tell them when y'all hang out. It's not about that.
Well, I mean, Courtney did snitch on you, but like, you deserved it. You absolutely deserved it. My car was gone for a whole week, Murph. A week.
Okay, but
Me
my
and the
feet are
kids had
very.
to take the Coda bus. Have you ever been on a Coda bus? No, because you have
Once
my car.
as
That's
an
why you just
experiment.
never
As an
been on a
experiment,
Coda bus.
I wanted to see what it smelled like. Surprisingly, it smelled like you.
It smelled like your kids.
Allegedly.
well, everybody, I want to introduce you to let me see, Greg. That's Greg, and then that's Kiki right there. The two little cats on the side. I gave them to
Kiki?
Greg and Kiki. Yeah.
That's great, Kiki.
So they'll be with us today. All right, man. Like so like wait, am I gonna see y'all later at Mike's or no?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
Later on today.
Yeah, I
Murph's
never.
building drones. He can't come. He's building drones.
Okay.
Well, you build drones, like that's what you do?
Yeah,
He
not
does
like
that.
not for a living, but yeah, like me and one of my homeboys, yeah, we build like quadcopters and stuff.
Have you seen any? Have you
Murph
ever?
builds drones so that he can have a vantage point above 5'5".
Look,
All right, don't come at short people. Like, don't do that.
What'd you say?
Don't come at short people. I'm short too. Like, don't do
that.
He'll build you a drone too.
Okay, first of all, Ty doesn't need one because I think Ty's actually got a couple inches on me, so I think Ty's doing all
right. Yeah. How tall are you? Like 5'3"?
Nah, I'm like 5'4" and then some change.
Bing bong.
Okay, yeah. I'm like 5'5.5".
Yeah, it's not. I'm sure I'm down there. So once you get down in like below 5'6", it's all the same.
But when you short though, you realize that you really not the shortest out of all of them.
That's true. There's always somebody shorter. That's true. You eventually do me, but I'll be honest with you, like, because I never wear shoes or anything anyway. Like, it's even if you're shorter than me, but you have shoes on, like, you're probably gonna be taller than me still.
Like, yeah.
So that's part of the reason why I never had.
Do not disturb.
The girl I do not.
I want to be as short as I can possibly be when we meet, so there's no disappointment. Like,
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I understand. I definitely understand. But me, like, I gotta wear shoes that's gonna make me taller. So I usually wear like Tims or Air Maxes or something to give me like an inch or two, especially if I'm going on a date.
Yeah.
But you're
See,
married
I
now.
get
You
that.
ain't got to worry about that.
You know, I still worry about it. You know, some people try to test you. Like if I'm going to a day party or a hood party, I'm definitely wearing like some shoes that's gonna give me an extra inch or two, just in case somebody. It ain't gonna make much of a difference, but
But you need all the help. Yeah, I got you.
yeah,
You
you
know,
need all the help you can get. You know what I'm saying?
You
Yeah,
should
you know,
have like sports bras for men to make your muscles look bigger. And that way, no one will try you. If you're like a short, buff dude, people try you less. You know.
nah, they still be trying you.
yeah,
They
that's
still,
not. That's not true. Nah.
they still be trying you for some reason. I don't know why. Murph, has your experience with tall men? Are they usually like bitch ass niggas to you?
Well, okay. I've noticed because all my friends are gigantic, right? All my friends are like 6'3" or larger, all like 250 or above, right? So like a lot of these dudes are real gentle giants because you gotta understand, like if you're 6'5", like 260 at 17, people don't really test you to begin with. So I know a bunch of big dudes that cannot fight at all. Like and it's not because they're not bitches. It's just most people don't test you when you're that big. At the same time though, I know a lot of big dudes that act bulletproof. Like a
My
lot
son
of
is
them.
6'1". My son's 15. He's 6'1", and he's definitely like a gentle giant. Like I would hate for him to be in a street fight.
Well, you got a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
How many? You got 2 or 3 kids?
me and Murph have a 15-year-old.
Okay, first we don't. All right,
Yeah.
we have one adorable accident. Don't be trying to. I'm trying to inflate.
We have a 15-year-old. Murph is 15 years behind in child support payments.
Okay, first of all, you said the boy was 6'1". You know he ain't my son. What are we talking about? Like,
I have some genes.
yeah,
happening.
and you little jeans are just trying to shape what's left of that ass, trying to turn. Like, I saw it. Listen, every time I see you, you got some shit suck it in your fucking.
You did this to me.
Your pants are just doing this to your booty cheeks the whole time.
Yeah.
Steph, do you
It's
plan on?
strategic. Until I get my child support payments to get a BBL, then I got to do what I got to do.
Steph, do you plan on getting a BBL? We're just gonna let it.
Not a
just leave
BBL,
it?
but I would get a tummy tuck for sure. Pregnancy was not kind to me.
Oh, okay.
You know I still love you.
I mean, I'm still fine as fuck, but my midsection could use a tune-up. You know what I mean?
The fupa is my favorite part. Please never lose it. Like that's what got us our second kid. To be real, like
a fupa.
Yeah.
My nail tech is nodding her head like, They love a fupa.
See, the thing about the fupa is you hold it like it's a loaf of bread while you hitting the missionary. And you just hold that thing.
Yeah.
And let her know that you're controlling her. It drives her crazy.
That's actually where the clitoris is. You know that? In your fupa.
That's why a lot of women can't come because they ain't got no fupa yet. They don't know they haven't.
Right. Rufio roasted me. Rufio said my stomach looked like I was holding a fart.
See, I don't want to laugh, but Rufio's my man, and that is accurate.
I said Rufio's girlfriend got a curfew. He can't handle a grown woman body.
I haven't met his girl. I can't corroborate that. I don't know. He does look like a young fella. I don't really know how old he is.
He's 27. Because I started clowning like, you're a little kid, and he was like, I'm 27.
Steph,
how old are you? 7?
27.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was like early 20s.
Hey, I thought he was like 21, 22.
Yeah.
But nah, like it's funny because we, considering the ages of people that I've met doing comedy, like just even just in the city, there's people who are 65, 70 years old, but you don't even know do comedy. Like Frank Dement. I didn't even know Frank was a comedian with the first couple times that I met him. He was just kicking it. He was just kicking it because he didn't go up. He was just hanging out with the comics. He's a real jovial dude. Then I see him go up. Then I find out this man is a damn doctor. Like, you don't know where people are coming from in their lives when they start comedy. It's just wild.
Can I tell you a secret? I didn't believe him at first.
You didn't think he was a doctor?
Yeah, I was like, he's fucking lying.
It's because of the list, right? Like,
I don't know. I just think people are full of shit most of the time. So I mostly assume people are lying.
I mean, maybe, yeah. I think especially in comedy or entertainment, I would assume that there's a healthy dollop of bullshit in what everybody tells you.
Especially people with penises. Like most of the time, they're lying.
That's a little personal. That's a little personal.
That is a big swing.
A lot of people have penises now that wasn't even born with them. So I will clarify that statement.
Also,
yeah. I mean, I feel like if it's added on, then I trust them a little more.
You know what?
But if they were born with a penis, my trust level.
That's because you're messing with boys with penises. You need to mess with men with penises.
Fair.
I mean,
that's fair.
The man's making a good point.
Yeah, Murph is a boy with a penis. And
hey, first of all, I am a boy-sized man with a penis. Okay, we need you to get that shit correct before you start slinging it around the internet. Thank you very much.
Debatable.
Secondly, all right. Every time that I pay you in the court-ordered camel cash that you like to accept your alimony and child support payments in, right? My lawyer informs me that it's not going on the record, and that's why I'm so far behind. Okay, I think maybe if you would just redeem some of these points, we could possibly get these records straight.
They don't even have that store anymore, Murph. They don't even have that camel store. Joe Cool is banned. You can't even get anything good off of that. How am I supposed to get my kids Joe Cool book bags that don't exist? Wait, what?
Get a better lawyer.
Huh?
Okay, wait a minute. Also, Steph, I'm always curious because I know you started right after me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but because I like Ty, do you know the official first date you started? Because I feel like every comic I talk to knows the exact first day that they ever went up.
I don't actually. I don't, and my ex was with me, but I refused to talk to her, so I don't know. I just know it falls somewhere between September and October, I think.
Okay. And how long? How many years? I'm gonna say it was 3-4 years ago.
It'll be 4 this fall.
It'll be 4 this fall. That's wild.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel like the scene is now that? Because I really feel like last summer was the first summer after the pandemic that people started coming back. So now the things have been running for like a year. Like Ty, you've been here for a lot longer than both of us. How do you see it? Like how do you envision what's happening now?
The scene is definitely better. It's more mics, but just because it's more mics don't mean that it's better. But I will say that it's better because it's more mics. But out of all the mics, there's only really about 1, 2, 3, maybe 3.5 that you can get some valuable feedback from. So that's the downside of it. Like, I think when we hear a lot of mics, we automatically think, oh, it's a good scene, but that don't mean every mic is good. But it's definitely better. Like, I would say it's also kind of better because the toxicity is down, but that could rise up at any given moment.
Not bad. Like I feel like so was it worse before Steph and I showed up? Like because I hear about the toxicity all the time, and every now and then there'll be like a flare up in the community. But like was it worse before we were doing it?
From my
A Facebook
standpoint,
flare up.
from my standpoint, the toxicity comes because there's just a difference of age. There's a lot of 20-year-olds, and when you're in your 20s, you kind of think you know everything. And you're still trying to figure yourself out, like who you want to be and stuff like that. And I just feel like that kind of spills over into the comedy, which even though, like, here in Columbus, some people may think it's toxic, some people may think it's not toxic. I would say that in every scene is probably some level of toxicity, so I don't let that get to me. But what I will say is that regardless if it's toxic or not, it kind of reminds me of college. Like, it is what you make of it. You know what I'm saying? If you just looking for drama, you'll find drama. If you looking for cool people, there's hella cool people in the scene that you can find. And people that be willing to give you like advice and tips and stuff like that. I will say there are more people who are willing to do that. I would say when I was young, I probably said the younger comics didn't really care or mess with us, but I would say like my class or whatever, the 3 to 5 year range class, like I would say we're more giving to like give you guys advice and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy to find out that there were a lot of people that would just come up to you, especially when you first start, and give you feedback that you can actually use. I mean, it's one thing to come to somebody and say like, yeah, it's really funny. But another thing is say, hey, this bit that you do, I have a tag for you. Try it out, and then you try it and it works, and they don't, it's not like they want credit or anything. They wanted to help you out. They saw what could work for you. They gave you something. And that was just part of the community. And I'm like, I every now and then you do meet somebody like that in this scene, and I think that's really cool. I'm glad that most of the people that I know like that are running at least one mic.
Yeah.
So this is kind of weird, but like I've been in recovery for 14 years, so I go to Alcoholics Anonymous, right?
I used to go to AA.
And yeah, for sure. I grew up in AA, you know what I mean? So
Technically, so did I, but yeah, yeah, go ahead.
But so that's kind of what, like, I had to kind of be reparented in AA and kind of like learn how to be a grown up in AA. And people in AA are incredible. Like, if you need it's the biggest fraternity in the world. Like, if you meet somebody in AA and you're in another country, another state, whatever, they're going to do whatever they got to do to help you with whatever you need, as long as it's something positive, right? And so kind of coming up in that environment where we're always like trying to be of service and uplift each other, and then trying to break into creative scenes or being around creative scenes and seeing people really cut each other down, especially like in local hip hop scenes and stuff like that. Comedy, I felt like, was the most uplifting of the creative scenes. Now, there are people who like shit on each other or feel very territorial, but my first show was with Christine Horvath with Babe Roar, and her whole thing is uplifting comedians and like people of color, or I'm sorry, female comedians and people of color. So she like put on a show for me, and I was trash. Like, I was just reading off of a paper the entire time. But like, I approached people and asked them to perform at my show, and like they came through. Shayna, and Wonder Doug.
Shout out to Shane and Doug, by the way. Yeah, I met them like in my first year as well, and they're both amazing people. I like being around both of them.
So is that how you got started, Steph? Because when I seen you, you just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, it just seemed like you just came out of nowhere producing shows.
Yeah. I mean, I produced that show with Babe Roar help, and it sold out. And people were like, "Well, what are you gonna do now?" And I was like, "I don't know. I have no idea." But like, I've known Terrence for a really long time, and he'd been killing it with Affirmative Distraction and that improv show. And him and Joseph Moore, Babe Roar, Wonder Doug, I just have really good mentorship. And they were like, fuck what anybody says, do what you want to do. Because there
Do
seems
you
to be this idea that you gotta like suffer in comedy before you can ever produce a show. And I make this joke like, doing comedy is a lot like grad school. Like, y'all think I gotta do 700 hours of watching y'all smoke weed on a fucking patio before I can produce a show? That's not it. Like, that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? I can do whatever I want.
do do you feel I've never asked a woman this in the scene. Do you feel that we protect women in the Columbus scene? Like, do you feel safe as a comic on stage, like as a woman comic on stage? Like, do you feel even safe around us off stage? Like, I really want to know that. Like, do you feel not specifically us two, just in general?
So it depends on the room. Like Beyond the Bricks, not necessarily like the things that I would say there are not gonna fly as well in other spaces. I got started with like in a queer comedy scene, so with Wonder Dog with Christine Horvath, and it's very very supportive, right? But I felt like I need to know what I need to improve on. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go to Beyond the Bricks. I'm gonna figure out how to work any kind of room, and like I'm here to tussle. You know what I mean? Like I really want to be good.
Yeah.
Murph, do you feel safe as a black man, just for a simple fact? Because one of the things I didn't know coming into this game is that comedy can be very segregated. Do you feel safe as a black? Like, do you feel safe and supported by the people that have the same skin tone as you?
Um, I I do for the most part. Like, I will definitely say that all of the established black comics that I've met never presented themselves as though they thought they were above anybody else. No matter how established they were, no matter how popular they were, no matter how good they were. When I've met them, they've always dapped me up. If they had mentorship to give, they gave it, right. If they had positive feedback, they gave it, right. I haven't had anybody play me soft at all. Um, but there are. I mean, there's some people that are not as that their vibe isn't as agreeable with you as other people's is, and that's fine. But I haven't really had anybody make me feel unsafe or unwelcome. I mean, every now and then, you get somebody who's feeling himself a little bit too much, but that person could look like anybody, though. I've had that vibe from a number of people, and I feel like that's just the game. Some people are just like that.
Yeah. I'll pose this question to the both of you. What did you learn about yourself within your first year of doing comedy?
That I perceive myself as somebody who like um just didn't give a fuck and was very vulnerable and open. But as I've gone on, I realized that like I struggle with vulnerability on stage. I don't talk a lot about being sober. I don't talk a lot about my profession. Um, so I've been really guarded my first year, and I'd like to explore being like more vulnerable. You know?
That's actually a good point because I had no idea that you did AA meeting.
Yeah,
I had no idea. Yeah.
yeah. And actually, like I got started. My mentor, I met him in AA.
Okay. Okay.
So,
That's kind of cool. I really like. I didn't know that. I just
well,
thought that was really cool.
and it's narrative therapy, right? So AA is narrative therapy. It's very much aligned with comedy. Like you're all just sitting in a church basement, um, telling jokes about how fucked up you used to be or how fucked up you still are. It's very similar. And so I'll go share and like stand up and tell my story. And a lot of that is using humor to heal. And that was the basis of my first show was just like using comedy as a means to like heal. Right. And people shit on that concept a lot. Like this is not therapy. This is supposed to be comedy. But like for me, it's very closely aligned. Like healing and comedy are very closely aligned.
I don't really see the difference. I see so one person I look up to a lot is Elanya Van Zant. She always says you cannot heal what you cannot speak. So I feel like anytime we go up there, we have a responsibility to be authentically ourselves and be authentically vulnerable because people are looking at us and they can probably see themselves like, oh shoot, I did that, or oh shoot, maybe I didn't, talk to my dad about that issue, that I thought I had as a snot drips down my nose.
Yeah.
But
That's the perfect way to end that shit, though. Yeah.
but I feel like we have to go up there and be that way because we are up there saying what people probably do not have the vocabulary to express their feelings for. And we give them
Right.
permission to feel those feels and start to heal because we went through that journey and now we're just I basically see it as me going up there giving my testimony for real, for real.
Right.
You know what?
Right.
I would agree with that. I remember Ty, you and I were talking about that a few weeks ago. It might have been a couple months ago. You know, I was just taking a little bit, just taking a walk. We were talking about just what motivates you to go up there, like what informs your voice. And I definitely remember a testimonial vibe from yours, but it feels yours feels very casual, not like it's not authentic, not like it's not vulnerable, but like it's a casual, authentic, or vulnerable. Not like, okay, I'm gonna make a big deal out of exposing this thing to you. I'm gonna just slide this extra vulnerable thing out there and just see what happens, right? And I feel like, well, one, I'm curious, was that always your delivery? Because your regular delivery, like just in conversation, is a very calm.
I was very much so like you, man. I was very, very much a storyteller. But I feel like early on, we have so many words and we try to fit them in 5 minutes that we can't really convey what we're trying to say. That's why it
Yeah,
takes time. It takes a lot of going to mics, takes a lot of writing, finding your writing style and stuff like that. And early on, you'll talk about bull crap like rape and drugs and all that stupid stuff, coochie and dick. And then
yeah,
once you get on, you'll start to realize, okay, what style do I want to like? What do I want to talk about? And one thing my counselor told me, she was like, okay, if you're gonna go up there, you need to go up there with intent and like a purpose to have something to say. Don't just be going up there to just be saying stuff. And so like I'm very like I know like I'm very like non-approachable, but as you know, if you have a conversation with me, it could be a good conversation. So I just try to convey that, on stage. Like we're going to have a good conversation. I'm going to
yeah,
make you laugh, but I'm definitely going to probably say some deep shit, but I'm definitely going to make you laugh. So I think early on I was mainly like trying to be a storyteller and be real animated, and I think that's still in me. But I just took like year two. I just like was like I don't care about booking shows. I really want to like focus on the writing. So then when I do book shows consistently, like I am doing now, I can go up there and be polished and have something to say. You know what I'm saying? So I was really very much of a storyteller and very animated. And then like then COVID happened, so you took a couple months off, and then I came back, and I just kind of had to refine myself again, not just with comedy, just with like stuff in my personal life, and through doing that, I just became more uh calm. Like I will always say to myself, I want to be a very calm, collected, cool person. And
yeah,
now, like sometimes when people be tagging me in boomerangs, they be like, tie up their calm, cool, collected. And I'll be like, that's exactly what I wanted to be. So
yeah.
I had to like change myself to see what you see now.
You know what is
Yeah, I was
funny?
gonna say nothing
But
rattles Ty, and also I just want to say like when I had like some little internet drama go down, like Ty was the only person to reach out to me and be like, "Hey, are you good? Like, if you need help, like if you're trying to navigate this, let me know." And as much as I felt like intimidated by him because he's really good, like he was the only person to reach out and be like, "Are you straight?" That was like outside of my friendship, my friends, within comedy.
yeah, you know what? It's funny because I think Ty, I have the same experience with you. You are the first person who ever reached out to me and was like, "Yo, if you need help navigating, if you need help writing, if you need help understanding structure, like if you need help with the art of this, if you need help with the practice of this, like on a very professional approach. Like, yo, I see you around. If you're trying to get better at this, I can help you. Most people don't do that. Most people don't take the time out to do that. And if they do, they don't do it in a way that seems structured or for the community, right? Like now, granted, since I've met you, I definitely have met a bunch of people that have really come out to help me out. Like I grew up with Jay Brock, and I still see him everywhere. He helps me every time I see him. He's always got something to give. JR Jr. Every time I see him, so there are people who will give you little tidbits of advice, but you're the first person who's ever like, yo, if you need something, like hit me up. Like I'll give you the game. And I think I'm hoping that more people in this community start to behave that way, especially to the newer comics, right? Because we seem to be having people like, I know when I host mics, there's always a few people there who have never done it before.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If I gotta be honest, you guys are the reason, not you two specifically, but just a lot of the new comics in Columbus. You guys are the reason why I started this show, because like I'm in year 3.5. So like year 2, I was getting really frustrated because I was just getting so like, I just felt like it was just very toxic. It was just very competitive and very like everybody trying to be the top dog in Columbus. And I'm just sitting here like, dog, we talking about Columbus, Ohio. Don't nobody care about us. You know what I'm saying? This is the place where it should be the most freedom and you should thrive in comedy. So once I saw all that go down, then I was like, all right, let me reach out to all the new comics that I know and just let them know, like, hey, I'm here. Like, if you need somebody or whatever. And then 2, I know I'm not the most approachable guy. So I just wanted y'all to know, like, I am actually the opposite of what I like display. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like I wish somebody would have did that to me. Like, would have just like grabbed me and be like, hey, like, I see some things. Maybe you could do this, you could do that. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted y'all to know, like, it just wasn't all toxicity in the city. There was somebody that you could like go to or be like, hey, how do you feel about this joke? Or somebody you could talk to even when you want to give up, because there'd be some days, even I'll be wanting to be like, man, I do not feel like doing this no more. So I just wanted to extend that to y'all because I didn't know if anybody was in general. You know what I'm saying? Because when all that was going down, I was just kind of like, if I was them, I wouldn't want to do this shit no more. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
and then the other thing for me is, okay, I'll have men offer me mentorship, but what they really want to do is fuck. You know what I mean? And like, so I've had to like tread really lightly. But with you, like, I knew you're in like a happy, healthy relationship as far as I could see. You know what I mean? And it wasn't about that. It was like genuine, like, not like, oh, I'm trying to smash. Like, do you need some help? And then the other part of that is like, so far, like, from what I have to offer, like the limited experience I have to offer, I always try to make an effort to uplift women. So, I mean, we tend to want to uplift people that look like us or with the same circumstances, right? But we don't look alike. You know what I mean? So for you to reach out to me was like really powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I would agree with that, and it's funny because when I talk to people about exactly this type of stuff, right? About people, especially people in the scene where they're like, I'm asking them, people who have been here much longer than me, was there ever a point where you felt like there was a community, like a real comic community? And so, Ty, that's my question to you, because you are one of the only people that does this. Did you ever feel like there was a cohesive comedy community? I mean, all scenes have their problems. I just mean, did you ever feel like, the Columbus comedy scene, for the most part, is supportive?
No. But I will say you got to find your village.
Yeah.
You have to find the people who see the potential in you, who care enough to help you grow, and who want to see you win. One of those first people for me would be, Neff, would be Stevie J, would be Ty Moore, would be Shayna, would be Xavier. Those people who, when I was in year 1, Lucas Mateus, year 2, they were like, hey, this is funny. And then be like, hey, when do you go up? I want to see you go up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like when I started to find people that I could trust, with my humor and just with me in general, um, then I started to feel that support. And I didn't, and then after I found that support, I didn't focus on the people who weren't supporting me anymore. Because one thing you gotta learn about comedy, man, is that for whatever reason, not just because it's comedy, it's just because it's the entertainment business. You're gonna find fickle people. Some people might be your road dog, and then once you start to surpass them and you booking more than them, then you're not as cool anymore, and that's fine. But when you do find somebody that's real and genuine and very supportive, I think that's very important to hold on to, just in life in general, but especially in comedy, because we can go to one room and tell one set of jokes, go to another and they kill, and then go to another room and then they don't kill, and then
Nobody
we just sitting here like, should I still be doing this? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
like, was that ever even funny to begin with? Like, was I just getting
yeah,
lucky? Like, yeah, I
yeah.
know what you mean. So I do have a question about that for you then. One, who who did you want to be like the most? Like, who did you model your style after the most when you started?
When I first started, it was Marlon Wayans and Martin Lawrence. They're very
Okay,
animated, very animated. I would say probably Martin is more of a storyteller. But yeah, I that's how I stuck my style after. And then I had to get back to, and I think I will get back to being animated when I start to tell more stories. But I just felt like when I was going up there telling stories, it was more so about the story and the animation as
yeah,
opposed to just being funny,
I got you.
you know.
It's so funny to hear you say that because I guess I just got there too late. Because by the time I met you, you were like, just we were almost monotone, like,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was like, but I could also tell that you were leading with the jokes because a lot like you would speak so low that the only way that joke hits is if you heard every word in the joke because you weren't doing any emphasis on anything. You were damn near just like reading it off like a grocery list. So when I saw
Yeah.
people laughing, it was like, oh no, the structure of this is so good that you could just read it off. Like
Yeah,
to hear you
that's
say that you're being animated like you were before, that's crazy to see you do this now.
that's my advice to you because I used to put I used to put so much stock in open mics. Like I treated it like a show. Like I would promote the open mics, like come to this, like come see
Yeah,
me tonight. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I don't do that no more because like I do have anxiety, and my anxiety sometimes, like I've had panic attacks on stage several times.
I got
And
you.
like I would say a little bit before y'all came, I did not know how to start my set nor how to end my set. Like I would be mumbling, like your host Xavier, and like mess up the whole like every time, and it would
Wow.
like build up my anxiety. So what I decided to do, I was like, all right. I was like, I need to learn like a structure and a way to get this done. And like, ooh, dolphin colors.
Oh, they are.
Okay.
I have a jersey to match. Hey! Okay, Murph, I'm
But
gonna
like,
need you to cash up her,
I'm not paying for that. I told you that.
bro. I
I told
got
you that.
the orange, like you said.
Like I
How much
said.
you owe you?
but yeah, like
Yep.
I was just my anxiety would be too high. So then I was like, you know what? It's an open mic. Ain't nobody here. These people ain't gonna see me tomorrow. So I was just like, bump it. I'm gonna just go ahead and just read it off my phone. Like I'm not about to stress about it. Like they're not gonna care. They laugh either way. So
Yeah.
as you see, like when you see me, like I'll be looking for the next joke. It be dead silent up in that bitch. I don't be giving a fuck. They not going nowhere.
But I guess I'm only saying that as somebody who only has the perspective of after you were already like that, right? Because I've never seen you be the way before, right? So
Yeah,
seeing you like that, I was like, oh, this is this is it. This is the bit. Like you know how was it Deion Cole will go up there and just try jokes out, and if they don't work, you're like, I'm cross them out, whatever. I'm not gonna see y'all anymore anyway, right? That
yeah,
was the vibe I was getting where it was like, oh, the nonchalance is what is a lot of what's carrying the delivery, right? So like the structure was so sound. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna just throw this out there like I don't care. But now that I know you genuinely didn't give a shit, like, that actually makes it cooler.
I don't care if I am there to make you laugh. But if, however, you don't laugh, I don't care as much because I have confidence now that I can find a way to make this part funny. I'm either going to find a way, a new tag, or punch it up, or a new direction, or I'm just going to scratch it out. I no longer put too much stress on it. Like, oh, they didn't laugh. It's open mic. This is what we hear. We here to practice. So
Yeah.
I don't buy too much. I try not to buy too much stock into it, for real, for real. That's why you see me up there like, all right, that one didn't work. All right. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I know it's not me. Sometimes it may be the audience, or sometimes it may be me, but I'm not about to stress about it in that moment. Nah.
Yeah. Steph, do you get stressed out on stage? Steph, I don't know if you can hear me. Or you just walking. We probably muted right now. All right, you don't
She
know.
can hear you. Oh, my fault. Hold on. Let me take her off mute. My fault. Well, she put herself on mute.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I can't mute it. It's okay. Do you get nervous on stage? I mean, do you get fluttered?
No, and I think that's probably just more being naive than anything else. Like I don't think that's necessarily good. Um, I get nervous in all other aspects of life. Like, but when I'm on stage, it's not like I'm not nervous because I'm just confident things are gonna go well. It's just even if they don't, it's fine. Like
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that constantly fears that everybody's looking at me in a negative way all the time. So when I'm
Mhm.
on stage, I'm positive everybody's looking at me. So it's like, well, at least this is the actual reality now. So
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like the stakes are high. Now, granted, it's also because I'm spending a lot of time at open mics, like you said. So you get to the point where you're like, yo, this is practice for all of us. The stakes are not high enough to be nervous. But I do imagine that at a certain point that starts to kick back in. I was talking to Gilly about that, and he was talking about how the if you lose the nerves, then you don't you're not going to be able to survive. At least not you're not going to be able to progress on stage if you're not nervous about it at all.
I'm most definitely like the bigger the mic or the opportunity, I will say my heart beats a little bit more. Um, but I just try to focus on going up there and having fun, man. Like, sometimes like we try to you're a new comic, man. You got so much to learn, and you trying to go by everybody else's clock. Everybody be like, after 10 years, you find your voice, and it takes another 5 years to figure out what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Damn all that. I'm not living by that,
Yeah.
by that time clock. If it, because there's other people that have surpassed that time clock. When Sam J got into the game, I mean, 6 years in, she had a Netflix special. So I'm not about to.
I didn't know that happened 6 years in. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like she was on SNL, she was writing, and then within year 6, like she was shooting her Netflix special. So who am I to sit here and be like, oh, I gotta go wait till year 10 to make it? Hell no. Like, I just put my head down, right, tell my jokes, and I just every like moment just try to like, okay, what am I working on today? Am I working on crowd work? Am I working on not saying extra commentary when the joke bomb, like, that's why I came up with that joke about this is a new joke, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Because like comics do that so much. And I know I do it when I be like I'm high, but I don't do it to get like pity points. I really just be talking out my head like I'm high. Like that's why I messed this joke up.
It doesn't come off like you're trying to save face for it. And I think there's a way to do it where it doesn't come off that way, right? Like, especially because half the crowd is comedians anyway. Half the crowd understands what it's like to be up on there where you straight up lose your train of thought because
yeah, I'm about to add you real quick. I'm about to add her real quick.
Okay.
There we go. I'm trying to unmute. I think you gotta unmute yourself. I don't know if she could do that and join at the same time. There you go.
Am I muted?
No, you good.
Yeah, you now.
Yeah, you good now. But like, do you guys at least have fun when you do comedy? Like when you first got in, it was like I got in for XYZ. Are you guys still having fun while doing comedy?
Yeah, close your window. Yeah.
I'm almost at the crib.
All right. So we'll talk over this windstorm.
All right, I'm in my Wi-Fi.
Yo, so the answer is yeah. I still have a lot of. That's why I'm out there. Because the shit is like I'm not. I started probably later than most people, right? So I don't. I don't have. I don't have any delusions that I'm gonna like be the next Eddie Murphy or anybody like that. Like I'm doing this because it's fun. This shit is intramural to me right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing it because it's fun. And right now, I love the idea that you can go up on stage with just you, right? Because I've been in a bunch of other performing arts before, music, drama, and a bunch of other stuff. So like when you go up there and it's just you, and not only can you lose the crowd, but you can get it back too with just you in the same moment. Like to me, that is there's a rush that you get from that I don't get from anything else. You can have a plan. You can say I'm going to tell these jokes and everybody's going to laugh so hard, but then if something doesn't work, something doesn't go according to plan, you can't just get off stage and go, well, I'm gonna start over and do it again. Nah, like
Man, I will.
Yeah, right. You can't like you. It's what was that? I think Mike Tyson. He was like everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Like you have this idea of what you think is gonna go on when you get up there, but you can't quit if it doesn't go that way. I like that.
Steph, are you still having fun when you do comedy?
Yeah, like I mean, it's addictive. Like I have an addictive personality, and it's addictive. So for me, like being in recovery means I have to fill my life with positive addictions, right? And comedy is just debaucherous enough that it keeps my attention, but it's positive. It's a positive thing, you know. I tell this joke like my roommate says bitches need hobbies. They be making men their fucking hobby.
Ain't that the truth?
It's true. And it's like
Message.
women need fucking hobbies. Like we need to be creative. Men always have hobbies, even if it's a stupid ass hobby like fishing or something. Like they're always have video games, something.
Yeah.
Women don't have hobbies except taking care of other people, or when I was younger, like doing drugs and drinking, right?
Yeah.
So if I am the best version of myself when I'm doing something creative, and I'm kind of exploring like where else comedy can take me. I've been talking to some people about doing like, a YouTube series and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like, I know it's only going to be positive.
Can I say something? Both of y'all, I never told y'all this. Both of y'all be motivating me because Steph, for real, like you got kids and like you don't never. I mean, I don't be there as late as you do because once I be done, I tend to go home. But like y'all, you be there at every mic. Like I'd be like, bro, she got whole ass kids, not like kids.
Here's the thing: I split parenting 50-50 with my youngest because I got 2 babies' dads. Murph don't take care of the oldest kids, so but like he's 15.
He's not mine. That boy going to the NBA. He's not mine.
And then like I feel like Murph be motivating me too because me and Murph talked and I had no idea this nigga was 40 years old. And I'm like, nigga, you want to do this at 40, nigga? Like you like that's because some people like after a certain age they get stuck in their ways and they don't want to take risk anymore. They don't want to live. They just quit. And like I'm like, dang, bro, like you going at this at 40, like that's what's up.
But like I don't know, like I felt like I was too old too because I'm 33, right? So
yeah, you older than me.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
I'm 33. But because I don't drink, I don't look like it, But like, you know, this is corny, but like Vincent Van Gogh didn't start painting until he was old as fuck. So I mean, Murph will be all right.
Yeah.
And like for me, it's like that self actualization can't happen till all of your needs are met, right? So all your baseline needs are met. Not everybody's trajectory is the same. Like not everybody finds their passion, their love in when they're young because they're busy trying to like undo the damage their parents did.
Right.
You know, or in my case, like undo the damage I did, right? So if I was focused on getting degrees and stuff until I was about 30 and trying to be married, and then that didn't work out for me. And it was like, okay, well, I'm either gonna take care of myself and I'm gonna pursue something creative, or else I'm gonna drink. And for me,
Yeah.
like I feel like if I drink, I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? Like the people I drink with, they don't drink normal. You know, the people that I came up with are all shooting heroin and stuff. So it was like either I'm gonna be burnout and relapse, or I'm gonna pursue a creative endeavor.
How did you how do you how do you do how do you do being a comic, being around alcohol like almost every time you do stand up? How's that transition been for you?
My understanding, like based off like, and I just want to say, like, I normally don't say that I'm in AA, not because I'm embarrassed to be in AA, but I don't want to reflect AA badly. So there's a lot of people in AA, and if you don't like what you see here, there's other people in AA who might be something that you like. But like, they say if I'm working my program, if I'm working the 12 steps, if I have a good foundation, I can go wherever the fuck I want. You know?
Yeah.
So if I am consistently like doing what I'm supposed to be doing, um, then I can go where I want. And if I have a purpose there, like you're not gonna catch me sitting at a dive bar, just chilling, watching people drink. Not because I want to drink, but because I'm fucking bored, right?
Yeah.
But if there's art going on, if there it just so happens, especially in Columbus, if there's art happening, there's typically drinking happening. So I'm gonna shut myself off to art because I'm scared of relapsing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna shut myself off to the world. And I got sober when I was 20 years old. So I'm gonna shut myself off to all of these experiences of like young adults because I'm scared.
Right.
That's not a way for me to live, right?
Yeah. Murph, like what's one of the things that you've been working on with comedy? Like what's your main focus right now with your comedy?
I think my main focus is really getting my structure fundamentals down, right? Because I realize that it's coming up with premises. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's flowing right now, and it has been since I started. But sometimes learning to land a joke, like you can have an amazing premise, a hilarious premise, but if you don't know how to land it, it's just wasted. It's like, and I've heard it where people are laughing at the like the first half of the joke. They love this premise, they love this setup, and then you say something, and you get not as big of a laugh at the end at that punchline that you think you should get, and I'm like, all right, that's a structure issue, right? There's something about the way that I'm constructing this joke that needs to be reevaluated.
Yeah. Uh the joke doctor. When I was trying to find out how to write jokes in different methods and the different structures and all that, the joke doctor, if you look him up on YouTube,
Jerry
he'll have
Corley?
that for you.
Is that you talking about Jerry Corley?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like every like Saturday mornings, I would just my fiance be coming in the living room, breath all funky, and I'll be sitting there on YouTube trying to figure out how to write. So I think that'll help you right there.
Yeah. I definitely I listen to a lot of Hot Breath, that podcast, and I've taken in a little bit of what Jerry Corley's had to say. I think a lot of it is just is putting in the reps, right? Like writing jokes and consistently writing to the point where you you develop a method where you can at least see what works and what doesn't, you can learn how to manipulate it a little bit.
Okay, yeah. That's what helped me. That right there. But then now I'm at a point where like I'm trying not to do. I want the structure, but I'm trying not to do their type of humor and make sure I'm focusing on my type of humor and how I can fit that into the structure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely am not trying to change what I think is funny or change what I'm trying to say. I think a lot of it is just, it's kind of like if you're playing a sport, like if you're playing baseball and you're a pitcher, like they're only going to try to change the way you throw so much if you have talent, right? Or if you're playing basketball, if you got a naturally high release and you just got to work on your mechanics a little bit, they're not going to make you shoot completely differently if it's already if you're already accurate.
Yeah.
Stuff. So I'm trying to do what you said just now and maintain my voice. I guess it sounds kind of pretentious to say, but like maintain that, but also develop the very basic fundamental structure that I know I need.
Yeah, Steph, what you working on right now that you trying to make become a better comic? What's your main goal you trying to focus on right now?
I mean, I think I do need to do, when you guys are talking about it, I'm like, I need to do that. But then I say like, fuck all that shit. So I don't know what the answer is. I know that I always want to be a better writer in any capacity. But I don't know. Like in that roast I won against Murph, like it was just like playing with props and stuff was a lot of fun. And a lot of my friends do improv, and I'm like, that's dumb. I'm not doing that. Like, it's funny when y'all do it, but I don't want to do it. But like pulling out props and kind of acting a little bit was fun. So I'm gonna be in a show called Mima's House with Hannah Rome's next week, and I'm gonna pretend to be my Nana.
Yeah, man. I always tell young comics, man, always try to like take at least one acting class and at least one improv class. They probably gonna cost you about like $250, but it'd be well invested because if you notice, like all the great comics, they're usually acting on stage, or they're usually doing some type of improv, and it'll help you in the long run. Like it's a nice tool to have in your pocket that could make you go further along quicker and just further along and help you.
Improv will always like they're people out to come practice with them. So I've had the opportunity to sit on some practices for like Black Friday or whatever, and I learned a lot, And then the other thing that I love, that I've always loved, is like street interviews, right? So like interviewing people off the street. Billy Eichner, I think, is probably one of the funniest people alive. And so me and a new comic, Carissa F. Baby.
I know Carissa.
Yeah, so me and Carissa started this little Instagram page called Hot Moms in Your Area. And
I saw
that. Hot Moms in Your Area, we're looking for you. We want to interview you. We have matching shirts, so it's official.
I actually was excited when I saw that she was doing comedy because I thought she was pretty good on the improv. But yeah, improv will definitely help. I think that's what got me by a lot, is taking one improv class, because when I came back after COVID, I wasn't really, I mean, I was telling jokes, but I was mainly just going up there freestyling. So if it wasn't for improv, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But as we get ready to land this plane here, what is anybody that's listening to this, what is like a piece of advice you would give them if they're just now starting out, if they're thinking about doing comedy and they're afraid? Like, what's one piece of advice you would give to any new comic that's listening to this right now?
Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. And it's going to be ugly and messy, and just do it. Just do it and revise,
I would agree with that. I would one. I think just jumping in is a great idea. Just go up the. If you get past your first bomb, like you'll realize it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as you think it does, right? But also I would say do your homework. Like tie the resources that you've been talking about. There's a bunch of stuff out online now where you don't have to start from absolute scratch. You can learn. There's a lot of people out there who have dedicated, their entire online presence to teaching people how to do stand up, or at least how to conceptualize stand up in a way that lets you know which direction you want to go and which colors you want to paint with. So I would say, do your homework. Take the time to evaluate what you're doing, and then shade that down to something that people like more and more.
Steph, who's on your Mount Rushmore for comedy?
Mount Rushmore, Chappelle. Yeah. And I always want to say, I feel like it should be a woman, but it's Chappelle, like hands down.
You got 3 more spots, right?
3 more? Damn.
Yeah. But if you want to give one, that's fine.
I didn't go to high school very often. So Chappelle, Ali Wong, Billy Eichner, and he doesn't. I don't know that he does like a whole lot of stand up, but just the way he handles people, it's just fucking hilarious. It's so fucking funny to me. Just like the way his brain works is fascinating to me. I got one more.
Yeah, one more.
Okay, old Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Old Kevin Hart, not new Kevin Hart. Old Kevin.
Murph, what?
Oh, wait, I got one more.
Go ahead.
Hannibal Buress.
Okay. I've never heard nobody say him before. Okay.
But old Hannibal Buress, not new Hannibal Buress. Old
Didn't know there was an old one. Didn't know.
I don't know. He lost some weight and now he's not.
Oh, okay.
I like fat. How about this? I like fat Hannibal Buress.
Okay. Murph, what about you?
I feel like I shouldn't even have to say Chappelle. So we'll leave Chappelle off the list. So I'll say Pryor. I'll say Marin. I'll say Patrice O'Neal, and I'll say and there's a guy that I don't know if a lot of people would say. I'd say it's a toss up between Stephen Wright and Louis C.K. Right, I'd say Stephen Wright only because the commitment to one-liners and that delivery is like nobody has that.
And I didn't think I was going to say Louis C.K. because he was being rapey.
Hey, it's your list.
What?
It's your list.
I didn't say his morals are on my Rushmore.
Can I tell you a secret? I saw him live at the Funny Bone after he was canceled, and I shook his hand, but I was afraid to post about it online because he was canceled.
Yeah, first of all, I can't speak to who's canceled and who's not. Secondly, canceled seems to be a very fluid term, and he seems to be doing fine. So this wasn't a moral question. This was just like who's the influence who I think is talented.
Nah, but I do want to give you two before we wrap it up and end it. I do want to give you two words of encouragement. Murph, man, you really remind me of. I don't know if you study him yet or not. If you don't, please do. I'm trying to think of somebody else while I got you here, but definitely Ali Sadiq.
Yo, I'm legit. I'm watching Domino Effect Part 2 right now. When you called, I love Ali Sadiq. I've been watching Ali Sadiq since back in the day. Yes,
I think you have a lot of. I think your age is to your advantage. You have a lot of wisdom. If you come up there and just continue to be yourself, talk real slow and everything, I think that'll take you further along. For Steph, man, every time I tell you, I'll be like, man, you should talk about this. You should talk about that, man. Because I think when you guys come into comedy, you guys have a disadvantage because you can't necessarily talk about any and everything. But to me, the best comics when it comes to women are the ones that just talk about it all because we don't really hear that out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And you remind me so much of I think you and your story, I don't know all of it, but I think if you study Taylor Tomlinson, I
Who-
think that could Taylor Tomlinson.
How do you spell it?
I like Taylor Tomlinson a lot. Yeah.
Taylor spelled the normal way, and then Tomlinson Tomlinson. If you look her up on Netflix, she's hers. I don't think I watched her first one. I don't know if I watched her first special, but her second special, like she talks about a lot of things, and I think if you could just find a way to talk about and be more vulnerable on stage about like your life, I think your material is to be like unmatched, man. You have so much just raw, just sitting there that just I can't wait to see how
Thank
you take
you.
it. Yeah. So I just want as again, if you guys need anything, I'm definitely here. So before we leave, man, tell people where they can find you guys at. Murph, where can people find you at?
So I'm gonna be hosting.
I mean like your socials, my fault.
Oh, my bad. I thought you meant like where I'm gonna be in the next couple of days. So yeah. So my Instagram handle is at Murpherson. I'm the only Murph Henderson on Instagram. So if you just look me up, I'm real easy to find.
Steph, where can people find you at, man?
At Spawn of Con. SPAWNKHAN.
Yeah, man. If you want to watch next week's episode of Comedians in Bed, just make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at TYE Comedy. Once again, that's TYE Comedy. Make sure you give us a follow on IG at Comedians in Bed Podcast, man. We want to thank Steph and Murph for coming through, man. Make sure you guys check them out, especially on their social media, so you can see some of their upcoming shows. We appreciate you guys, man. We will see you guys next week. Murph and Steph, I'll be seeing you later on here today. All right.